Hey there, viewer. What if I told you Tessa got turned into a creepy doll robot and is going to clap Anne's cheeks on the next episode?
What?
It'll make sense later.
Okay.
In episode 4, the Cabin Fever episode, we see a creepy hand running around and a strange set of eyes watching Anne from the background. The show tries to make us think that this could be Doll, stalking the characters, but what if I told you that this is actually the real Tessa? Let me explain. In episode 6 of Murder Drones, we get multiple interactions with Tessa and the main cast. Throughout these interactions, we get scenery that could be foreshadowing about the person behind the space helmet. Many theorists have already talked about how the astronaut could very well be Sin in disguise, and I agree with that notion. But if this isn't Tessa, then where is the real Tessa? Well, in episode 5, we get an ominous promise from Sin to Tessa.
You will not have to discard your pets, and I will not discard you. Best stay away from the gala, though. You seem squeamish.
And I believe Sin absolutely kept her promise. In the same scene, we can see one of Sin's dolls walking by with metal augmentations, foreshadowing my cyborg theory. Fast forward to the ending of episode 3, we see astronaut Tessa arrive for the first time with 3 spaceships, several teddy bears, and Jay. In the background of this scene, you can see a pink luggage that is reflected in the space helmet. The show gives us an unusual amount of detail and attention to this pink luggage, and right after we see the duo leave with the luggage. But we never see the pink luggage again. The next time we meet astronaut Tessa, we see her and Jay making some kind of deal with Doll. But let me ask you something, viewer. How did Doll meet up with astronaut Tessa? The answer to this question lies within episode 4. In Cabin Fever, we know that Doll is hanging around the camp looking for clues and the key bug. But hidden in the background of the episode, we can see that there is someone else stalking around the camp. As soon as Uzi enters the rundown cabin, we see there's a weird specter of Tessa facing against the camera, and right after, we see a strange hand unlike the hand of worker drones. We later see this hand again stalking N in one of the cabins. When N is messing with the computers and looking for clues, we get a blink and you miss it scene where we are beholden to a pair of yellow eyes lurking behind N. Right after, N finds the zombie drone VHS tape, and it's implied that whoever that was left that tape for him. So let me clarify where I'm going with all of this. This is the real Tessa, a girl that has been turned into some kind of robot. I believe that she was being transported in the pink luggage as Sin's personal pet / plaything. After their arrival, Sin probably let Tessa run loose to find the key bug, and that's how Robo Tessa ended up in the camp. Also, something to note, if you look closely to the rest of the cabin where Uzi found the key bug, you can see that it almost looks like Tessa was living in it at some point in time. The cabin is decorated more luxuriously, along with Tessa's signature chains. Even stranger, the cabin seems to hold worker drone nightgowns, kinda like the one Nori had. And this puts a direct connection between Nori and Tessa. While in the camp, she must have stumbled upon Doll, and that's how Doll ended up working for Space Tessa. If you look closely, it's very likely that Robo Tessa is probably the one who left N the VHS tape. It's possible that Sin is not fully in control and maybe Tessa was trying to bring back his memories. More than likely, Robot Tessa is the weird hand monster that we see in the trailer for episodes 7 and 8. And it's likely Sin will order Tessa to fight N the moment he refuses to delete Uzi. Before I close this up, I would like to point out that the other times we have seen human hands in the show was in episode 2. Something that a lot of people missed is that the fight with Eldritch J takes place in a mysterious cryosleep chamber inside the worker drone's bunker. This is likely where Eldritch J took the human hand from, and this proves that the Absolute Sober has extreme mastery of both mechanical and biological material. It might even be the reason why the Absolute Sober wasn't able to rebuild J faster, despite all the robots it had already eaten, because it needed more human parts.
My stomach was making the rumblies that only hands would satisfy.
What is wrong with you, Carl?
And I believe this mastery was used to turn Tessa into a robot. And based on the symbolisms of the show, you could say it's all hinting at the real Tessa is being chained down in some form or another. But, in the end, thank you for listening. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more. Everything that I say sounds like the mad ramblings of a schizophrenic, but I can assure you, it's an everyday occurrence in the Liam Vickerverse.
I'm taking him to therapy after this.